Hello, Joe. We appreciate your time reviewing our findings and considering the solutions to your current situation at Forest. Grace, Johanna, Connor, and I are confident that after reviewing these findings and implementing the solutions, you will be able to reset and move forward with confidence to achieve the financial success you aspire to and foster a better work environment where you and your team can thrive. Your team is experienced and has delivered a strong performance in the past, and you can undoubtedly return to and exceed that level of performance. We will address and provide solutions for three key problems that your team currently faces: absence of vulnerability based trust, conflict of fear, and avoidance of accountability. Next slide. The first step in the reset plan is acknowledging the 360-degree feedback you received and honestly assessing areas to improve upon, namely, clearly and proactively communicating agendas for meetings, sincerely asking questions, listening well to ideas, and including everyone in discussions. Hearing everyone out doesn't mean agreeing and seeking for consensus. Listening and thanking team members for their ideas is far better than insisting on consensus. Your team members can get behind an idea that isn't theirs if their ideas have been heard and acknowledged. Speaking less and listening more to your team as you ask for input will help rebuild trust on your team. Trust can also be reestablished during one-on-one meetings and addressing difficult scenarios and feelings on the team, specifically Jill's slower response time to projects, Thomas's recent departure, and Juan's ties to leadership. By exploring these and other difficult situations openly with your team, you'll be able to positively handle conflict with each team member in your organization and rebuild trust that is lacking. Next slide. Vulnerability-based trust is built by the leader setting the tone by being genuine about his or her mistakes and weaknesses. Joe, you can set the example by being open, real, authentic, and transparent, sharing your fears and shortcomings with your team. This helps your team members feel more comfortable sharing their genuine feelings and fears of doing their job responsibilities. By spending time with your team, you will get to know them personally and understand their motivations, their histories, and their capabilities. All of this will help you create a psychologically safe work environment where each team member can thrive and teamwork will naturally follow. Johanna will now speak about step 2.
All right, Joe, on to step 2, rebuilding team trust and defining commitments. This step is going to address two key problems: the lack of vulnerability-based trust and fear of conflict. Joe, your next step is to host a team building offsite. Next slide. We recommend that you include at least 2 key agenda items, including team trust exercises and the establishment of a team contract. We also recommend that this be required by all team members and that is hosted in person. Next slide. Now, there are a ton of trust exercises out there, and we recommend that you start off with a personal history exercise. As a reminder, this is where each team member gets to answer a few questions that are non-threatening, such as, where did you grow up? This exercise is important because it helps team members see each other as human and start to empathize and understand each other. Next, we recommend that you include the personality profile exercise. Now, this will start before the team offsite, where each team member takes the personality quiz or assessment that you choose. Then at the offsite, each team member shares the results. This helps people understand how other team members work, why they work the way that they do, which will help with camaraderie and working together. And Joe, your role as a leader is to lead by example and go first to show your team what that vulnerability looks like. Next slide. The next key item is the team contract. And to start out, big reminder that this is a team contract, which means every team member needs to contribute. It should be established through communication and discussion where everybody gets to share their ideas and be heard. Now, we recommend a few items to be included in your team contract. including establishing clear expectations for roles and responsibilities. We also recommend having team norms. That includes conflict norms and rules of engagement. Now, for each of those, we recommend 3 to 5. And as a reminder, an example of a conflict norm is we have conflict minors in every meeting. And then a rule of engagement could be we welcome feedback, even when it's uncomfortable. All right, I'm going to hand it over to Connor.
Great. Thank you, Johanna. So the next step is going to be step number 3, where our focus shifts on sustaining progress and strengthening your team's culture. We'll break this into 3 objectives. First, creating a culture of healthy accountability. Second, making accountability visible and habitual through tools like weekly scoreboards and meeting redesigns. And third, reinforcing trust and norms through consistent one-on-ones and use of the team contract. These aren't one-time actions. They're practices that will embed accountability into your team's DNA. Creating a culture of healthy accountability starts with embedding team norms into daily operations so they become second nature. These norms should be reinforced in meetings, recognized when upheld, and addressed immediately when lapses occur. Next, launch peer-to-peer accountability, encouraging team members to address issues directly, framing feedback as support, not criticism, and keeping focus on shared goals. We also recommend a new meeting structure. Focus on high-impact topics tied to your thematic goal. Eliminate low-value updates and close with clear accountability actions. Finally, keep the team contract alive. Review it regularly and check-ins and model accountability as service by holding yourself to the same standards. And then make accountability visible and habitual. Accountability thrives when it is visible, consistent, and shared. Begin each week with a quick scoreboard review, just 5 minutes to track progress on thematic goal metrics. Rotate meeting facilitators so leadership is shared and everyone feels responsible for outcomes. Prioritize discussions and advance the thematic goal over routine status updates, which can be handled outside the meeting. And close every meeting with accountability check-ins, verbal confirmation of who owns each next step. This strengthens follow through and ensures no commitments fall through the cracks. And finally, we sustain progress through coaching and norms. This is where short-term wins turn into lasting cultural change. Hold regular one-on-ones to build trust, address challenges early, and reinforce shared goals. Feedback should follow both ways. Coach team members towards shared standards so expectations stay clear and consistent. Revise and adjust the team contract as your team evolves, treating it as a living agreement. And finally, model vulnerability and trust from the top. Show that accountability is service, not criticism. By being open to feedback yourself. When these practices become a habit, your team moves from dysfunction to high performance by design, not by chance. And then I'll hand it off to Grace.
Thanks, Connor. After taking a close look at where things stand, we've landed on one clear and essential focus for the next 6 to 12 months, rebuilding internal trust and team alignment. This goal isn't just a feel-good team initiative, it's a critical step towards strengthening agency relationships and driving long-term success. By rebuilding trust and getting everyone aligned, we're laying the foundation for better performance, smoother collaboration, and ultimately helping the Forest Group move from disconnection to real cohesion. Next slide. To bring this goal to life, we've outlined 3 key objectives. First, build vulnerability-based trust through monthly team building sessions and bi-weekly one-on-one coaching. These create space for honest conversations and psychological safety. 2, reinforce accountability in product and sales by setting and sharing clear deadlines, starting with Jill and Williams programs. This ensures transparency and joint ownership. And 3, clarify communication and leadership expectations by co-developing a team contract and structuring meetings to give everyone a voice. This helps reduce confusion and avoid unnecessary conflict. Next slide. Here is an example of something you could use to visualize accountability and keep track of how progress is going. Next slide. To measure progress, we're rolling out a team camaraderie score, a quick self-assessment where each team member rates how connected and collaborative they feel. This will be done monthly or after major projects, helping us spot trends, highlight what's working, and identify where more support is needed. When used consistently, the score becomes more than a number. It's a habit that keeps accountability visible and real progress on track. Thank you.